Hello kiddies, welcome to Tobisonics, quick to make some noise for your professional noise making needs. What are we doing today, eh? Let's have a listen.
What you see is you and me, and never letting go.
Yeah, we're going to be taking a look at how to do a classic tape slap. And for that we've got very cool vocal from the very talented and, as we say in the north of England, Steve Maggiora. Talented lad, cracking music, go check him out. So we've got this awesome vocal from a track that Steve recorded called Whisky.
What you see is you and me, and never letting go.
Completely unprocessed, just as it came in. Really good stuff. And what are we up to? All right, so we're going to be sending out to an effects channel, and we've got a bunch of things going on. And what we're going to end up with is...
What you see is you and me, and never letting go.
So, let's roll back some of the effects. And let's see what we're up to. Right, I'm going to pan that hard right so that we can hear the lead vocal and the delay clearly. Let's get that back up to unity. So we're coming out of the lead vocal, effects send, we're coming out pre-fader. What that means is that
gonna tear you down so hard. What you see is
we can do that.
And never letting go.
Which means we can take this out completely and still hear what's going on. If we switch to post-fader,
and never letting go.
the fader affects the level going out. And the only reason I've done that is just so it's just easier when I'm doing the demo. So this is what we've got. How are we doing that? Let's have a look. Oh. There's the vocal being sent to it, the time it's been sent. So there's different ways of doing this. You can use lo-fi plugins. Isotope Vinyl's great. It's free. Doesn't suit every vocalist. So instead, I'm just going to use a Pro-Q. Something about the high and low pass filters on the Pro-Q that does this very well. So if we start with what Fabfilter call a low cut and what people call a high pass. It's completely confusing. So we're cutting at 880 hertz. What you're looking when you're trying to do this is you're trying to get some body still, but you don't want any of that low midish kind of sound. And at the moment you can hear it sounds kind of tinny. So we're going to add in a high cut or low pass. And we're getting that kind of telephone effect. We're in that kind of telephone region. If I were to come up, say, to... not so good. You see, we're losing too much body. And if we come down...
I'm gonna tear you down.
That's kind of cool. You could do it there, but I kind of like it here. And you notice that I'm EQing by musical note. There's no real reason for that other than the thing I have with these Fabfilter style EQs is there's so much choice. Sometimes it's nice just to limit your choices and just be like, okay, I'm just going to musical note, simple way of doing it. So that we've got high-low pass on a Pro-Q. You could use any EQ to get this effect. I like to use Pro-Q, but hey, it'll all work pretty well. Now, at the moment, you can hear it's pretty thin. Yeah. So we're going to add in the Devil Loc. Now, the Devil Loc is the least subtle plugin on the planet. I love it. And we're in at the moment at what? 13.4% mix. If I crank this all the way, it's pretty heavy-handed. Let's take it right out. There's not enough body to that. It's one of the big problems when you try to kind of telephone effect a voice. So we're going to crank a little bit of this in.
I'm gonna tear you down so hard. What you see is you and me.
It's pretty good. Yeah. Pretty much the same place. Right? And it just gives it a bit of body. And this is great for those kind of things. It also works really well on tambourines and things like that. So what are we doing now? Well, we want to make sure that the delay kind of sits within the dynamics of the vocal. Now, you may want the delay to bounce about more, but with this type of effect, we want it to sit within it. So we're going to add some compression, and we're just using Cubase Stock. We've got on a high ratio. One of the things I like about this is you can dial in between peak and RMS, which is very cool. So we're setting more in the RMS direction, which is letting more peak through. So it's giving it more presence. And the attack, hold, and release are all based on timings to do with the 132 BPM of the track. So they're just millisecond versions of that. And that's pretty much it. And they've got a little bit of dry in there as well, just to give it a bit of body. If I take the dry out, just gives it a little bit of weight. And we're talking about 8 dB, it depends. I mean, if you'd already processed the vocal, you may not need to bring as much out, but this vocal is completely unprocessed, so we're taking 8 out. Next up, tried and true, the classic weapon of choice, Echoboy. And now we get the actual delay. We're on an Echoplex emulation. We're doing a little bit low cut and high cut on a 1/8 delay. Just a touch of feedback on it to give it a bit of body. We've tweaked it a little bit here. We've tweaked the width. Echoboy tends to be out here somewhere. We just pulled it in a little bit like that, just to tighten up a touch. And then we've also reduced the diffusion, which I think was up here somewhere. So I've dried it out a bit. And I've reduced the depth of the wobble, which is the amount of sort of fluctuation or chorusing. Sometimes wow, you can hear it called that as well. Yeah, that's transparent. You do want some, because you want that kind of, that's part of a tape slap sound, is you get some of that. I've got about there. I'll take that from it. Okay, so that's what Echoboy's doing for us. And now we've got another Fabfilter, and it's just cleaning up 1 or 2 frequencies that Echoboy was bringing up that I didn't love. So we're pulling a little bit of 350 out, and we're taking some 2K out as well. And we're doing a couple of things like that. We have a 1.2 dB drop, but we also have some dynamic reduction as well on top of that. And then we've got a little bit of high passing, which really, for the purposes of this demonstration, is not necessary, but it's a good habit to get into. Soundtoys tend to bring up a little bit of low. So that's just cleaning up the lows, and that's just meaning that there's more room there in your mix for your sub, for your kick, for your bass, and all that. Is, you know, wherever you can, you're trying to clean those lows out. So if we take that out, that's without it. put it in. It just cleans it up a bit. All right, so at the moment we've got it pound right. Let's bring the lead vocal back in.
I'm gonna tear you down so hard.
It's kind of cool like that. I like that. But a lot of people like tape slaps to be down the middle. So let's... I'm
gonna tear you down so hard.
Well, that's much fuller now. That's much more exciting. So...
I'm gonna tear you down so hard.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Something that I like to do when I've got this situation is I like to use the dual panner. And that way we can tidy the echo up a little bit. Keep it in the center of the mix. So we've still got room for instruments around it. Yeah.
I'm gonna tear you down.
If I go wide with that. I mean, it sounds great. But where's anything else going to go? Where are your guitars going to go? Where are the synths, keyboards, whatever you've got going, drums and all that? Tighten it up. Give some space to everything else. And that's fine like that. If you want, though, we can add one extra effect just to tidy it a touch more. We can put in another compressor that we've got side chained to the lead vocal. Let's hit it in.
I'm gonna tear you down so hard.
And what that's doing is ducking the delay when the lead vocal fires, so the lead vocal has that space. And the way we've got it set, we've got it set at 100% mid. So it's ducking the middle of the signal, but not the sides. So for example, if I really crank the threshold, you can only really hear the sides at that point.
I'm gonna tear you down so hard. You and never letting go.
You could take a bit more out if you wanted to.
I'm gonna tear you down so hard. You and me.
Quite like that.
Never letting go.
Yeah. So let's go through that one quick. We got Fabfilter Pro-Q is giving us that kind of telephone, kind of lo-fi effect. Any EQ will do. Devil Loc is thickening it up a little bit. You could do this with other things. Compression, saturation plugins would do it. Devil Loc's perfect for it. I love using it. We're using it very low level. Then we've got stock compressor. Really, any stock compressor will get this done. And that's just tightening up the dynamics so it sits better within the dynamics of the vocal line. Then we've got tried and true Echoboy, Echoplex, adjusteds, emulation going on a 1/8 delay, giving us that tape slap. Another Pro-Q, just cleaning up a couple of things, a little bit dynamics on 2K. And then the ducking effects with the Fabfilter Pro-C, which again, you could use any number of compressors to get this to do this. So let's just take them out and have a listen.
What you see is you and me.
And let's put them back in.
And never letting go. I'm gonna tear you down so hard. What you see is you.
That's the classic tape slap. It's Tobisonics. Quick, make some noise. Thank you for your time. Good night and good noise.